Guys, let's get started. We're going to try to, we will have you all out of here by noon. Several of you have already let me know that you might have to leave early, and not to take offense that it's something that I'm boring you with. I appreciate that. So we've been talking a lot on the team about growth, how we can train even more often, what it is that newer agents and experienced agents are wanting to learn about. And so we sent out a survey, and it went out to all 88 members of the AMP platform team. We received 16 back, 19. We received 19 back. My stats / expert real estate agent partners in the room. We received 19 back out of 88 surveys. You know, what can you say? We have to go with those that responded and presume that what it is that they are interested in learning about is hopefully what everybody's interested in learning about. And we'll just kind of evolve with this as we go. So the approach we're going to take beginning this year is that we are going to, through the leadership group, that would be myself, Mark Hutchison, Malika, Justin, Dana, Gina, and I think that's it. We're going to begin providing more classes. And those classes are going to be centered around the survey that you return to us. Our purview as a leadership group is to train you as quickly as possible in a manner that you can absorb on those things that you are most interested in learning early in your careers. Does anything about that not make sense? That's why we sent out the survey. Somebody's chatting to me, so let me check that. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Henry. Thanks for being here. Hi, Lindsay. So that's the approach we're going to take. Now, initially, this meeting was set up. It was going to be myself and Justin. He was going to present some stuff, and he got very busy in real estate, as many of you in the room are. Gina was going to help me out, and there's a different situation that's going to pull her away. So I talked to Freddie Fairdown. We get a lot of feedback or input on the team, and I never want to dismiss this kind of input. Our businesses are in general built on what principle? Well, there's actually two answers. What is your business being built upon? Relationships, people, sphere. The general concept is back-end marketing, right? So we push that concept a lot, and we're very good at getting you to the point where you can leverage your sphere very quickly. That's proven in the statistics that come back from first year, second year, and third year AMP agents. However, there's always the interest from agents to practice pure lead generation. Now, guys, everything on the coaching platform is lead generation. We've proven that. Everything that you do is designed to generate leads for you from your sphere and referrals. But I'm talking about pure from Redfin or Zillow or Realtor.com, Optcity lead generation. And so I wanted to bring Freddie in for the beginning of this conversation for him to walk you and talk you through what he has experienced over the last 2.5 years. And he's grown a business out of Optcity. He's extremely good at it. He has some tips and pointers and hints for you. And I think that you can expand this beyond Optcity. There's some things that are particular to Optcity that Freddie's going to explain to you, but you can expand his experience beyond Optcity, because there are going to be certain things that you're going to pick up from him as he talks to you about his journey. Freddie joined AMP about 2.5 years ago. Freddie, is that about right?
Pretty close, yes.
Okay. And very quickly cottoned on to Optcity. So without further ado, I'm going to share my screen, or allow Freddie to share his. And I'm hoping that I can be technologically sound and do this. So Freddie, I'm going to make you the host. And Freddie's going to take you through his journey in Optcity. Please ask questions. and help him along by welcoming Freddie Serafor. Freddie, thanks for being here and doing this. So you should have the screen, and you should be able to share your screen and show us what you do in Optcity and explain your journey.
Let me see. Good morning, everybody. Let me see first if I can get this screen share.
Everybody hear him? Talk nice and loud for us. Do your best.
Can everyone hear me?
Everyone can hear you fine.
Okay. So I'm not sure why. Can everyone see my screen at all or no?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. I am not sure why I'm not getting the share screen here. Let me see.
Do your best. We're eating and drinking here, so we're fine. And everybody else is at home and comfy. Already did. Thank you, though. Good reminder that when I click on that, it lets me know I did because I don't have the option. It's my issue. We should have probably had a run through.
I mean, obviously it would be nice to have the screen, but I don't know why I'm not.
There it is. Oh,
Do you,
it was there for a second.
my screen?
Well, now it's got you. We can see your name. It's identifying your laptop.
Okay.
When you hit share, when you hit share screen, do you have an option to go desktop, or does it ask you something else to share?
When I hit my share screen, I have a choose what to share with app.zoom,
Share.
Chrome tab, window tab.
I would share Zoom. See what that does.
It's just a file. It's not giving me.
Okay. Let's do this. Maybe you can keep thinking about that. But why don't you talk people through how you got started with Optcity, what your journey's been like so far. Oh, now you're sharing your screen. Oh, you were.
Am I?
Yeah, we can see your screen.
Okay, great.
There you go.
It worked
Take
out.
it away in whatever order you see fit, and I'll try to leave you alone.
Sure. So this is obviously the PC or laptop version of the app. Honestly, I really 99.9% of the time I'm on the mobile version. So, but anyway, maybe everyone would like to follow on their cell phone as opposed to the desktop, but either way. So it's kind of, I mean, I'm pretty happy with what Optcity Realtor.com offers. I've made most of my business has been from Optcity. So I live by it, really. If ideally, of course, the settings in the app are important. Something to just kind of go through if you have the app to go through and get the settings. I kind of have opened the settings to receive the most leads, and it kind of walks you through, but if you go into settings, there's referral preferences and by client types. Now, first of all, location. Um, I've set my location central Columbus, close to campus, and 60 miles out. A lot of people probably don't want to cover that large of an area. I do. I take whatever lead comes through. Then also there's a budget key that you can set to minimum maximum. I don't know if everyone's following through with me, but so there's a location for your zip code. There's the budget. The widest range that you're willing to accept, I would say you could set your settings on the widest range. Then the client types, buyer, seller, investor, lease, and others. If you notice, if you're looking at those options there.
Freddie,
Yes.
how do you initially set up your platform? What link do you go to? Is it referrals.optcity.com and you just set up your profile from there as an agent? Let's take people to the beginning.
Sure. That really, I mean, if the app is downloaded on your, if you have the app downloaded, it takes you there.
Okay.
And you go into settings,
Okay.
right, on the app. And that automatically starts setting up your profile or your just your file, really.
Okay, so take us back to the beginning of when you first started with Optcity. What's the process that you go through to connect with potential clients? What happens to you, and explain what will happen to other agents as they engage with Optcity?
Well, I imagine everyone, I mean, I asked Mike and Heather at the brokerage to set me up with a account with Optcity.
Okay.
And so after that, I was just instructed to download the app, and so I did.
Okay.
It's pretty self-explanatory, really.
Yes.
It walks you through the steps that you need to take as long as you go into it. It walks you through a tutorial. And after you finish the tutorial, it's just 2-3 minutes, 4 minutes maybe. After you go through the tutorial, you set up your account by just going through the settings. Let me just to make sure that I'm not skipping any steps back, uninstall the app, and then
There's a question in the room, Freddie.
Two really quick.
Yeah.
It's free.
Okay.
Well, it's free to set up. You pay is it 30 or 35%, Freddie, at closing?
So there's 30 and 35%. Below 150,000 price point is 30%. Above 150
It's 30,
is 35%.
and that's paid at closing.
Who did you say sets up your account? Because when I go to the website in the app, it doesn't give an option to set up an account.
Okay, so Freddie,
Yes.
did you email admin and they sent you a link to when you initially did this? Is that what you did? Or do you remember?
I don't remember. It's been a while, but
Okay,
Great. I just
so
didn't know if it
the answer in the room was, how do we kind of get started? Email admin and they will help you set up, get a link to set up your Optcity account. That's a great question.
yes, I would say
Fred-
that's
No problem. So you set up your account, you go through the mechanics of your profile, setting up your search criteria. Who would you prefer to talk with? You happen to make it very broad. And then tell us about your experience about how you get connected to clients so that the other agents can understand this is what's going to happen to you once you get on Optcity. Talk us through that.
Sure. So you set up your settings. I leave my app on 24/7.
Okay.
It's always either in the background or just my main screen
Okay.
constantly. And then really the leads come through.
Okay,
Uh,
so the phone rings, right?
yes, well, there's a notification.
Yes, that a lead is there, and then you have to claim that, correct?
Correct.
Very quickly.
Very,
And
very quickly, correct?
yes, correct.
And the push notifications are better than lots of text notifications.
Push notifications are better than text notifications to get to people quicker.
And you have to go through the boot camp for the admin to set you up.
You have to go through boot camp for admin to set you up, and I think I could get you all special dispensation because you're on the AMP team.
Correct.
You either have to go through boot camp or be on the AMP team to do transactions with Red One. So
Yes,
anybody that
boot
doesn't
camp.
have Optcity that wants it, send admin an email, copy me, and let me try to have a conversation with Mike. I may have stuck my foot in my mouth, but I don't think so. You should be able to get a link from admin if you're on the AMP team to get set up on Optcity. So Freddie,
It's not very difficult at all. I mean, they do it right away. It's
Yeah.
same day.
I'm with you. So you're set up. A notification comes to you. You claim the lead. Now, what is your perspective or experience on claiming leads?
Good luck.
Okay.
It's
Other than that, would you advise the team to claim them all or be picky?
yes,
Okay.
yes. First of all, you have to claim it immediately. I mean, I have had leads or referrals that came through where I was looking at my phone, I mean, a fraction of a second, and it's still not guaranteed that I get them. But
Okay.
I'm always, quite honestly, anticipating a lead from Optcity. Always have.
I can attest to that. We've been on AMP Zooms before and his phone goes off and I'm no longer important. And I don't blame him. Says, this is Optcity, Mark, I gotta go. In fact, he doesn't even say that.
Yes,
It's out op.
I do take the phone into the bathroom. Yes, I do.
Okay, so
Dinner everywhere.
keep stepping us through this. So the notification comes through, you claim it and you get that particular lead. What happens next?
And immediately the phone will ring. Optcity will call.
Okay, and what do they say when they call you?
Well, they ask, first of all, they say what type of referral they're going to be sending you and whether you would like to claim and work with that referral. You accept that whether you do or not, and they
You say yes
connect.
or no.
Correct. And they,
then?
and at that point, they connect the referral. And
So you're immediately on the phone with the person who clicked on a home out there somewhere in the Ethernet that got connected to realtor.com/Optcity, and the Optcity operator puts you on the phone with the client right then and there, correct?
correct.
And
Correct.
and what is your conversation generally as it relates? And we're going to go over buyer and seller conversations today. So this dovetails perfectly with what came in second as it relates to the survey. The agents want to know about having conversations. So what's your conversation with this person that you've been connected with? What do you say?
Well, first of all, because the referral's getting contacted soon as they click in the Ethernet and any interest of whatsoever online for a home, Optcity calls them. They could be anywhere. They could be at work. They could be so. When they do introduce and the rep introduces me to the referral. It could be any time. So I ask them, the first conversation I have is if it's a good time to speak. So that's kind of important. to me anyway, because I want to make sure that it's not inconvenient for them. I want their undivided attention. And if it is okay, I start with obviously, family and just a casual conversation, and then start with this buyer-seller conversation.
And you speak to them specifically about the home that they clicked on and ensure that that's available or not, and then attempt to set up a showing for that home, I presume.
Yes, if they're sometimes they have a particular home in mind. Sometimes they're just not sure of what they're looking for. But yes, if they have a particular, in the last 3-4 years, the home that they have had in mind is oftentimes already pending or in contract. So then I walk them through whether they'd like me to set up a search for them in Flex MLS and start working with them.
Okay. So, Freddie, could you share with the team how many of those phone calls on average you take per year? And then please share your number of closings last year with Optcity. So first, how many calls do you take where you develop a relationship with somebody? Well, no, how many calls do you take on average per year from Optcity? Just guess.
On average, 250.
So
I mean,
200.
right.
Yep. So
Yeah.
you have 250 conversations a year with potential buyers. Is that an accurate statement?
Yes, in
Okay.
3 years, I've had 779, 780
And,
people.
and you track that through your Optcity platform, right?
Actually, forgive me. Let me correct that. I've actually been able to capture 780. But about 200, 300 of so dropped calls, or the referral hung up, or just different situations. I've literally probably spoken with about 500.
Okay. So out of
Conversation.
780, you've spoken to 500
Correct.
over a 3-year period of time. So we could average that out ourselves. Let's step away from your success last year for a minute. We'll come back to that because I want to end with that. And let's talk about how you can teach the team to grow your footprint on the Optcity platform such that you get that number of calls. What do you do as engagements with the Optcity platform in order to have a score that you have? Because just for the edification of the room and people listening, Optcity scores you, correct? 0 to 120?
Correct.
And that shows up every time you pull up your platform. You know what your score is, correct?
Correct.
And out of 120, what is your rating with Optcity right now?
It's fluctuated. Right now I'm at 114. Yesterday, for whatever reason, I was at 115. I've been at as high as 116. The score depends on your interaction with the leads, number of closes, um, just updating the leads in the system, meeting the clients and the referrals. So that the score has quite a few
Variables.
variables. Yes, but yes.
Would you say the main thing that drives that, or there's two main things that drive that? This is an opinion, correct me if I'm wrong. One, that you are claiming the calls, right? You've claimed 500 out of 780, if I get that right. And because you are willing as an agent to just claim them all, that drives your score up. And then the second thing I would propose would be that you keep the Optcity people updated, meaning the platform itself, their behind the scenes admin office is updated, and you track your client's journey on the Optcity platform, and Optcity sees that and likes that. Would that be accurate?
That is exactly right.
And it shows them that you are actually closing these, that you're staying in touch with them, you're making notes. And how often does Optcity require you to update the platform in order to stay in good standing?
So every 7 days, if the referral is not updated one way or another, at least every 7 days, they just turn off your app and you can't really, there's no incoming calls whatsoever. So, and they're good about it. They text, they message about updating your referrals. But in a way, for me, it's an every day I get up in the morning. Not that I turn off my app, but I make sure that I have my app. I think it actually recognizes whether in the morning or whenever you go into the app.
Oh, sure.
Um,
Your IP
and
address is definitely on record with Optcity. So we're gonna end this in two ways. I want to open it up for questions. And before we do that, can you share with the team how many closings you had last year that are a direct result of Optcity leads?
Not sure to be exact. I would say for sure 12.
Okay. So
Maybe 12 or 15, I would say 12 or 14.
yeah, there's so many you just can't keep track of them. Let's call it 14, and that's a good number. So you had 14 closings last year as a direct result of your engagement with this one lead generation platform. Is that an accurate statement?
Yeah, pretty close, give or take one or two. Yes.
Okay, well, you can call it 12 if you want.
Yeah.
So,
And
so,
really,
so
yes.
let's just say it's 12. That's 12 transactions, and you spoke with how many people? Don't do 3 years. Try to just focus on last year. How many people did you speak with on the Optcity platform to get those 12 closings?
Probably,
Somebody do this math for me.
I'd say probably 100.
So that's a 12% closing ratio.
I mean, there's referrals or customers, clients that I speak with. There's a lot of intuitive. I mean, we know which clients are A clients and B clients. I obviously don't spend very much time at all on a C client, but so
We get
yes.
Yeah, we get it. Okay. That if let's just say it's 12 out of 100. That is 4 times the average. So it is apparent and obvious to me that knows these stats very well that you focus on it in such a way and have become such an expert on recognizing the difference between A, B's, and C's. Your follow-up is outstanding. Your engagement with the platform is outstanding, that you've quadrupled the average rate of closure out of 100 from the typical lead generation system. And that's just outstanding work. So kudos. Anything else on the platform before we open it up for questions?
Yeah, just if you're just starting out, definitely capture your first two leads if or closes, excuse me, closes, because that's when they start sending better referrals over your way.
So
Um,
in your experience, 2 closings with Optcity is what kind of triggered them to pay attention to you.
yes, I mean it's actually a requirement. At least it was. Um, the first two closes, then better leads come through. Yes, they want to see some closes.
We have a comment in the room. Hang on just a second.
No, I thought it was, but
Okay.
that's what other people have said. Once they hit 3, then they got quality.
Yeah. So
I mean, you may get like mobile home leads or some
rental leads. Okay. So there's commentary in the room that kind of matches with what you said, Freddie, which is 2 or 3 closings will get you better, more curated leads from Optcity. So keep that in mind, guys. If you're going to focus on Optcity, focus on those items that have been revealed today. Follow up on the platform. Keep Optcity engaged. Make sure the leads that you have captured are updated every 7 days max. Claim every lead,
And
good,
for-
bad, or indifferent. What have I missed, Freddie?
But there's really no time to distinguish or judge between the leads. I mean, if you try to read, even if you do want to cherry pick, you will never capture any of them. So I've always just accepted and claimed every single lead that I could in order to. So yes,
Then-
that's really
Post claiming the lead, you make your business decision as to what you think the veracity of the lead.
sure,
All right.
sure.
What was that, Sheila?
Yeah.
What's the average transaction size that you're experiencing, Freddie?
It's been different this year. Last year, I had leads that came through that were 500 all the way up to 1 million. This year, it's just completely dropped. I just had a land closing for 10,000. That's about the lowest. Had a mobile home that just closed for 15,000, but average, I would say probably 200, 250.
All right, let's open it up for questions. Any questions for Freddie, either online or in the room? Elaine?
So when you, are your first phone conversations with these people, do you initially set up a meeting somewhere and talk to them then, or is it strictly over the phone? Do you have them sign, a buyer agreement with you?
So Freddie, you're talking to somebody, you're establishing a relationship, you're attempting to influence and nurture them to use you as your agent. At what point does that transition to either meeting with them or providing them with a consumer guide? When does that take place? What's your step 2?
Sure. So I leave it completely up to them. I really want, personally, I really want to win them over without being overbearing. So if they want to meet immediately, I meet with them. If they say I'm not ready yet, obviously, maybe it's just setting up a search in the MLS for them and keeping in touch. Um,
Please tell me you send consumer guides to all of them.
I do not send a consumer guide unless I have some sort of a substantial interaction with them.
That's a
No.
fair statement. Yep. That's your first opportunity. That's fine.
There
Okay.
there has been people that I've driven an hour away to show them a house, and that was it. I never had a call back from them. So no, I didn't send them, but I don't ask them because that may push people away. There's no reason for me necessarily to send them a consumer guide from a phone conversation until maybe I meet them, show them a house, and I have some sense that that they're serious.
Does that make sense, Elaine? Any other questions for Freddie? Thank you, Freddie, for that one. Lindsay?
So you mentioned like maybe 100 calls happened and then 12, 15 closings. With all the other people, is it usually like you realize from the phone call they don't want to work with you, you go show them the house, does it vary? Like what's happening with all the other typically?
So Freddie, on average, what's happening with the other 88 people that you've claimed, you've had conversations with that don't end up closing? What do you do with those and what's happening with those? And do you stay in touch? Do you send them back to Opcity, what's your move with those 88 people?
So there's a hold and a release tab in the app under transaction that whether you feel like you want, if they're not fit, you're fit, if they're not my fit, I release them. If they are probably 3 to 6 months down the road, you can put them on hold. If you feel like they can become a client or they become a B or an A referral. So I have to get interaction from them. If they don't interact, if they don't answer a text message, if they don't answer an email or a call, a half a dozen times, a dozen times within 2-3 weeks, 4 weeks, I typically hold on to a lead about 8 weeks, but they have to respond somehow. I have to get some interaction. Otherwise, I release them. If they don't respond to any texts or emails, they're probably they were just looking, or maybe something just had Opcity call them and connect with a agent, but I don't keep pursuing them if I don't hear from them. And a lot of people are just not ready. A lot of people are not serious. So different reasons, but
Freddie,
does that answer?
what
Does that
percentage? Yeah, that did. What percentage of the folks that you talk to are pre-approved when you talk to them?
Very, very few, probably 2 or 3%, 4%. That's really that's actually a big flag for me. If they're willing to get pre-approved, they're probably going to buy. You're probably going to close them. If they don't take the steps to get a pre-approval, that there will be people that will call through. I just want to see this house. I'm not ready to get a pre-approval. I don't want to go that far. Well, that's not really going to turn into anything really. I don't think so. But if they are willing to get a pre-approval, or if they have a pre-approval, or if you can introduce them to a lender and walk them down down that path, they're very likely, I would say, going to close with you.
Sorry.
But to that point of when you're talking about releasing,
Mhm.
does the number of times you release somebody affect your rating with Opcity?
Freddie, have you noted any kind of diminishment of push notifications when you release several in a row, or do you hang
No.
on to them long enough? You know, you said 8 weeks. That's a long time to hang on to somebody, which is great. Has that helped you avoid any kind of diminishment of your score, or have you noticed anything like that?
No, releasing does not affect your score or your leads. If you have made some attempt to stay with them, maybe, I mean, if a lead comes through and which I've had, they are working with an agent, I immediately release them. Or they just don't respond. You know, Opcity knows that. They have all their gauges actually that are pretty accurate. They're listening to conversations, they're reading text messages, emails. But no, the amount of release does not affect the score.
And it's your engagement with the platform that updates Opcity as to the lack of engagement from the lead, correct?
Correct.
Kelsey?
We sat through 2 of the webinars from Ready Connect Opcity.
Yep.
And they suggested having an initial meeting at like a coffee shop or a banana.
Mm-hmm.
Do you do that? Do you meet at a place before you show, or how do you typically do it?
You don't put for an in-person meeting, do you, Freddie?
You know, I haven't yet, as a matter of fact. I'm not saying it's a bad idea at all. One of the gauges or criteria is to immediately meet with the clients, but a lot of people are hesitant to meet a stranger in a coffee shop just to have, at least I would think so. But to answer, I always, if they have a home in mind, I always meet them at the home. Or if it becomes a relationship, I just meet them at the home. If I find them something, or if they have something in mind, I just meet them there.
There's another agent in Redmond, not on AMP, Sarah Brennan.
Mm-hmm.
And I watched a video of her and she said she pushes for meeting at a coffee shop, like, to rule out like crazy murderers or something. She said, she made like a funny comment like that. But like, but me as a woman, you know, I'm a little leery of doing something like this. And
Meeting somebody at a house.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yes, and as a matter of fact, I hope it doesn't sound sexist, but yes, as a female, I would definitely
Okay.
encourage that. Of course I would, yes. For myself, I'm not but, yes, so
That makes sense. Another comment in the room. We're gonna need to bring this to a close, but go ahead.
At what point do you ask them, are you working with another agent and have you been pre-approved? Are those like the first two questions that you ask them, when you get on the phone with them?
I would typically, I really try to just have a normal conversation with them. As I try to keep it about anything other than real estate, but initially at least. But yes, I do want to ask how they have been, how long have they been looking at homes? Who has been showing them? How have they been seeing the homes that
Really
they've
good way to ask it. How have you been seeing them to up to now? Great
Yes,
question.
directly asking if they're working with an agent. They might be, and just say, no, I'm not. But that kind of, process of elimination to just see where they're leading. I've had people that say, well, my agent is out of town. I just want to see this house today. So, but yes, that's a good
That's what I'd
question.
say. All right, what else? This is good stuff.
Just real quick, I know I missed the beginning, but I too did one of the webinars and kind of started the process.
Yeah.
And it was like instant to where there's a snooze function. So like I would snooze it, the biggest part is like you either, as long as you decline it, it doesn't hurt your score. If you don't respond at all, is when it's gonna start to affect you in the long run. So, but you can snooze it for a week or a month. So I did that a couple of times. Seems like instantly when that month was up, they boom, 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 start coming back. And I'm in my scrubs and I'm at the hospital. I can't take the calls like that. So I
Nope.
permanently put it on this like some kind of
Snooze.
because I'm not ready for that.
Will you do the webinar for Optcity?
So I just pay attention to the emails that come through from the admin.
Yeah.
And one of them said, if there's a webinar here and it had a link to sign up for it. But it's actually, I know we keep saying Optcity, but they changed the name. It's called Red Connect.
Yeah.
So
And those
would you?
webinars are probably recorded, so you could probably still find those. Watch
Oh,
them.
yeah, it was recorded and I think they emailed it to me.
Okay. Other questions before I kind of try to synopsize this? Anything online? Any other questions for Freddie online?
Just real quickly, you guys, if you like to know how get a better idea of how the scoring works with Optcity, if you just go into the app and the initial page has referral alerts, tips, score, and leaderboard. If you just go into the score, it's tells you the 5 variables that keep track. It's closing the deals, meeting the clients, updating the status, contacting referrals, and number of claiming the leads. So they're there in the score tab in the app.
So We're going to transition into emails and then go to the next thing that you guys want to learn about. Here's what I think I've heard. Freddie, you've made a business model, a silo of your business machine, this overall real estate business machine, which is made up of three pieces: a pipeline, transactions, and after close. And your efforts with Optcity, Move Easy, Connect Easy, whatever it's called now, is all about that pipeline. So you spend a significant amount of effort, you've proven it today, talking to a lot of people, and you follow up assiduously, and that generated at least 12 closings last year. So that could, perhaps should be a part of everyone's business if they choose it. And we all know that you got family, faith, social life, and work outside of real estate. Freddie is blessed that real estate is his work. So he's got family, faith, and social life that he's got to dovetail with Optcity, and he's made it clear that his phone even goes into the bathroom with him. So if you're going to pay money for lead generation, be prepared to focus on it. If I've heard nothing else today, all these questions and comments and statements are outstanding. They help us all to understand what is involved in true, pure lead generation. And if it fits in your life to focus on capturing leads that are captured for you or provided to you because you're paying for them in some way, shape, or form, please do that. It's going to take, as Freddie has described, a significant amount of effort and time. However, 12 closings last year, Freddie has made the decision as a business owner, a real estate business owner, that is well worth his effort and time to do that. And he is dovetailing, working on Sphere and adding those as another layer of transactions and closings on top of this pure lead generation aspect of his business. Freddie, does that capture it well?
Yes, sure.
Say no if you want.
No. And really, but I say 12, but 4 or 5 of those were referrals from, that's the kind of the benefit, I would say, these closes or these referrals that come through. If you end up working with them, you know, they have other referrals. So
we've got stats on that to share with the team because I wrote some stuff down before the meeting started. Freddie, thank you so much for explaining that. I think it was crystal clear. If there's any gaps that we need to fill in, let me know and we'll fill those in. We know how to get the Optcity link. It's through admin. Copy me on the email if you send it to get started on that and set up for it so that I can convince Mike and Heather to let you guys do it, even though you may not have been through boot camp and most of you have anyway. Freddie, thanks so much for that. I sure appreciate it.
of course, my pleasure. My pleasure.
Thank you, Freddie. All right, I'm going to attempt to take the screen back. Can you stop sharing?
Yes. I think.
There you go.
Okay.
You did it. Guys, let's talk about how Kelsey saw the link before we get into what we're going to train on today. So we as a team send a lot of emails. We as a team receive a lot of emails. I would highly encourage all of you to please go to your email server and organize it and clean it up. I send out an email once a week as an inspirational email. I send out emails to the team quite often. Those include links to these meetings. They include calendar events. And let's just clarify the difference. When I send you a calendar event to let you know that a meeting is upcoming, we don't use the Google Meets link that's in the calendar event. I will always send another link either then or on the day of the meeting to all of you for your one-on-ones. You know that I send them right before we meet. for these kind of meetings, this link for this Zoom call was sent out last Tuesday, I think. So, and I have some team members are asking me, you know, when's the next meeting, or I didn't get that, or I didn't get this. If I've got your email and it's the one that you signed up for AMP, you are getting all of these links. You're getting emails from me. What I'd like to avoid doing is in the subject line, of course, Sheila's working with a client who's in California. Sheila's working with a client in California who, like Freddie indicated earlier, just sometimes is not communicative. So she's had to start putting in the subject line, must read, in all caps and bold. I don't want to do that. I'd like you to please pay attention. Email is the best way for me to connect with a team this large. And it's only going to get better or worse, depending on how you look at it, as the team grows. I guess what I'm trying to say bluntly is please pay attention to the emails that come out from myself or Mark or any of the team leaders. Clean up your email server so you can get to them. The way mine's set up, my daughter had to do it for me, I admit it freely, is all of my new emails are at the top and they're bolded and unread, and everything I've responded to is at the bottom, so I can go through and clean those out every day. We all get hundreds of emails a day. That is not an excuse for not knowing about a meeting or not getting an email from me or one of the other leaders. Please clean up your email servers for me. Stay organized, guys. You're a business owner. This is the way we communicate. Let's try to stay organized. So enough of that bitching and complaining. We sent out a survey, and we had 19 responses, and the highest number of responses for what most of you wanted to learn about is close clients and assisting them in getting referrals from them. So I want to talk to you about how we're going to break down this coaching platform for the rest of the year and ensure that you're all getting consistent information that you can study and restudy. So I'll just capture it one more time. We meet on the second and fourth Thursday evenings at 6 p.m. It's right here in this training room, and it's Zoomed and recorded. We meet one Saturday morning. That's this meeting. It's usually between those two Thursdays. We're going to add 2 additional training concepts. One is going to be the mastermind classes that will take place between the leaders in revenue share only for now with their pods. And the other one, which is for the entire team, is those same leaders are going to pick up various tools that we're going to meet at the end of this month. They're going to pick up various tools, and they are going to begin training on just that tool on other days during the week at other times that may be more convenient for more of you to attend either in person or via Zoom. Those will probably all be Zoomed. All of these starting today. You know they're recorded. They're going to be downloaded to Screen Edit. It's a system I have. We're going to put the AMP animated logo on the front, the red one animated logo on the back, and then that's going to be downloaded or posted on the AMP platform for you to get to. It's going to be sent to all of you, and I'm going to highly recommend that all of you put a folder on your desktop called AMP Videos for Study. And you can load all of these into your computer and have an entire library of this entire coaching platform recorded for you to go back and restudy and restudy and restudy on a particular area that you have interest in. We should have done that sooner. I apologize. Those will also be on the AMP platform YouTube channel. I will ensure that I continue to add all of the new agents to the AMP Facebook page so you can get to videos there, but they will also be sent to you personally. Okay, so let's talk about what you all are interested in. Yes, thank you. I apologize. So what you're interested in is close clients, how to assist them and get referrals. So I just did a little research. Next. I can read my writing. I won't make you read this. Okay. I want to emphasize the importance of how we separate our business into these three percentages of effort. If you have 100% of your effort in real estate, and Freddie proved it earlier, 60% of your effort should be filling your pipeline. This is going to sound very salesy, but that's what it is. It's filling your pipeline with people who are going to do business with you at some point in the future. You just may not know when. You'll recognize when as it relates to your engagement with them, but 60% of your effort is that. Everything on the platform is designed to fill that pipeline. And as we record these sessions and you get really proficient with KV Core or whatever your CRM of choice is, you get really proficient with the database that everybody else calls Facebook. You get really proficient with geofarming. You get really proficient with holding open houses. You get really proficient with networking. As you create these silos that are within your business and it works within your schedule, family, faith, social life, and work outside of real estate, you're going to find all of your pipeline and all of your transactions and all of your closed clients are going to fall into one of these databases that you're already connected with. 60% of your effort and all of these different databases and connections are designed to fill that pipeline. That's why all your effort, or a lot of your effort's there. Guys, you're all going to get so proficient and good at getting somebody through a transaction. And I recognize that while I'm saying this, it sounds like a dichotomy and that I'm confused. I'm not. You're going to get so good with .loop, so good at writing contracts that get accepted, so good at getting somebody through a transaction and knowing what to do next by following the transaction timeline or perhaps hiring admin assist, following the timeline that we've created for all the AMP team members as we train on that. And each one of those areas is going to be fully covered in a video that you can study time and time again. We're going to go through an entire contract. We're going to go through .loop. We're going to go through MLS. We're going to go back through all of it for you. You'll get so good at transactions that while we all know we do a lot to get somebody through a transaction, it should not be much more than 10 to 15% of your effort. And then the balance of that effort is spent taking care of closed clients. So 60, 10, 30, or 60, 15, 25, whatever the number ends up working out for you as you get more proficient getting somebody through a transaction. Most of your business effort is spent on the front end and the back end, because that's where your business comes from. When somebody's in a transaction, they're in a transaction. They're not in your pipeline anymore, and they're not yet a closed client. So we need to keep that proficient so that your effort and time can be spent on the front end and the back end. Does any of that not make sense? Let's be brutally honest. Does it sound unrealistic? Do you think there's something wrong with that? Do you not understand it? Is there a question about it that we should discuss right here and now? Is that Kelsey has a question? No reason to apologize. Yep. Yes, your effort, the effort it takes to get somebody through a transaction. Right. It's not a time thing as much as it is an effort thing. Yes, it does, doesn't it? Yeah, Kelsey's bringing up a great point. So when I opened up this part of the conversation, this is why this is going to be recorded for you guys to study over and over again, because these great questions come up and we have this back and forth, and this is how we learn. I said at the beginning, it was going to sound confusing that 10 to 15% of your effort is spent getting somebody through a transaction. And then Kelsey said, just told the truth, right? It seemed like so much more effort to get somebody through your first one or two transactions. And she's correct. It does take time and effort to get people through transactions. When I harp on everybody to please don't tell people you're a real estate agent or a realtor, please tell them you market real estate services. That is purposeful, because the definition of a real estate agent and a realtor that the public holds is that we very easily put somebody in contract. and they very smoothly go through a transaction and smoothly close, and we get this big paycheck, and then we just go on with our lives. Kelsey just said it, that's not real. So it's incumbent upon us, since we must intuitively understand that our effort, not so much our time, but our effort should be spent in filling that pipeline. We are going to get so good at getting somebody through a transaction and understanding what it takes to get them through that effort is going to diminish over time. It will. It's more difficult when you first do it because you're still learning how to do it and you're still asking a lot of questions and getting feedback, and everything seems to take more of your time and energy. Guys, trust me, that goes away. Are there exceptions? Yes. I had 3 closings that were supposed to take place in December and none of them did. They all eventually closed, but it wasn't in December. Things happen. But you're going to be so good at dot loop documents and so good at the transaction timeline, knowing what's coming next, so proficient at communicating with the other parties involved so that they all know what's going on and their efforts compound upon yours and diminish your efforts. That 10 or 15% of your effort is going to be spent on getting somebody through a transaction. And that's based upon statistical stuff, and I'll prove it to you in a second. And then we must realize that, and Freddie said it, some of those Optcity leads, they refer people to him. We must focus on our clients after they close. The transaction is over, but the work is just beginning when somebody closes. Those are your most valuable referral sources. And I'll prove it to you in a second. They're very valuable. So conceptualize it in your mind. My effort should be spent on filling my pipeline. I will be experienced and become such an expert at a transaction that the effort to get somebody through one is going to diminish over time. And my effort should be 25 to 30% taking care of people that have closed. Yes, Lindsay.
So long-term, that makes so much sense to me, but what do you do, and if this is just a later conversation, you can ignore me, but what do you do if you're like a new agent? What if you do have something that's about to happen, but you don't know how to use dot or do any of it? What do you do then?
You call me.
Yeah, okay, you just literally call.
Yeah, you text me
Yeah.
and say, I need to talk to you about dot loop right now because I got somebody who I need to either do listing documents for or get a contract for. And I will respond. And if I can't, she will, or Mark will, or somebody else will. But I've taken that on with me.
Because that's what's.
Always. Yes. Yes. Right. So Lindsay's bringing up a good point, which is why additional training and having all these recorded and sitting on your laptop is going to be critical to you. Her particular question was around dot loop. You know, if I meet somebody early in my career, I'm not yet proficient at getting them through a transaction. Who do I call? The answer is me. Text me. And the second thing is this AMP 2.0 that Malika coined is going to bring that information to you more quickly and give you a source to go to, because that dot loop training will be recorded, very specific from A to Z. You'll have a much better idea of what to do in dot loop, even if we've never chatted, because you can go to that video. But always get a hold of me. Yeah, always get a hold of me. Guys, I love boot camp. I, of course, love what we do here on AMP. None of it can replace doing it. So I was talking to an AMP, and I'll get off this in a heartbeat. I was talking to an agent yesterday, and I encouraged them to please stumble forward. There's nothing that we can't fix. One of the reasons why agents are discouraged highly by our brokerage firm to either attend boot camp or be a part of AMP is because nobody wants that liability. So get a hold of me and we'll get you through a transaction that gets thrown at you early in your career, because it happens a lot, which is why we need to step up our game to get information to you more quickly, and we're going to.
And I don't know, I learn better if I'm doing it. So while I can go to boot camp or look at the resource page for Red One agents, I wanted to put the contract together for my transaction.
Well, they're all different too.
Right.
I'm sure there's variables in every single one.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Has sat and helped me do contract more than.
Would
Oh,
you
I-
recommend the video resources, like maybe instead of going to boot camp a second time, just watching all the videos?
I would do that.
Okay, maybe do that instead of going.
I would do that.
Documents page, for they have a completed purchase agreement.
And I would also encourage you as a team member of AMP to continue to push us to provide the information. It's the only way that we're gonna, it's why we did the survey. It's the only way we're gonna know, hey, Elaine has these needs, Lindsay has these, Kevin has these, Lori has, Brandon has, Sheila, Woody's in this stage. They're all different. We need to get that information to you as quickly as possible, give you a resource study library of videos. And you need to know, and I try to say this often, so I'll repeat it here. Guys, you get trained on, it's the second and fourth Thursday, more to come on that, a Saturday, and I'm available for one-on-one Zooms for 30 minutes during the week. And we're going to add to that. That doesn't mean that my phone is ever off. I'm like Freddie when it comes to Optcity. I get text, here's a text from my wife. I get text all the time from agents on AMP saying, I'm needing this. What do you think about this? Justin Humphreys and I speak 3 or 4 times a week, and he's crushing it. It's not about need, right? It's not about need. It's about, I want to know this, and you're my resource. And we've committed to being that resource. Never forget that. We're available during the week. You don't have to wait for your scheduled Zoom or a Thursday night or a Saturday morning to discuss these things. Okay? And that's only going to get better because we'll have more leaders available to you. So let's talk about closed clients, how we assist them, and how we get referrals from them. All right. I wrote down some stats because I want you to understand that you're wanting to know about this, and it being the most important thing you want to know about is intuitively good, and it's going to pay off. 61% of your closed clients will refer you at least one person. 61% will refer you one. 34% will refer you 2 or more. 5%, notice it drops precipitously, will refer you to 11 or more people. You might find that one client, right, out of the 8 or 4 that you closed this year, that they are just a super referral and they refer you to a bunch of people. Here's the problem with all of that. If you close with somebody and forget about them, they're not on your KB core, you're not connected with them on Facebook, you don't call them 3 days after they move in and say, how's it going? You don't get a hold of them 7 days after they move in and say, hey, we didn't get a home warranty when you closed. Let's get that ordered. I don't want you to have any issues with appliances. Maybe we made an offer without inspections or remedies. I don't want you to have any issues with your appliances that, we couldn't see by looking at them. And then 30, 60, and 90 days later, you don't respectfully, professionally, and bluntly ask them to refer you to the people that they know. You will never get to those statistics I just quoted from the National Association of Realtors. 61% of your closed clients will not refer you to one, 34% will not refer you to 2 or more, and that 5% will not refer you to 11 or more. So the first step in ensuring that your clients are going to refer business to you is to ask. And we developed this cute little plan, and it's 3, 7, 30, 60, 90. Soon as somebody closes, guys, they go on to your KB Core if they don't already exist there. If they exist there, you update KB Core to their new closing date, their new address. So you make sure that you have in place the mechanics of staying in touch with them. Of course, if they're on Facebook, you're friends with them there. You certainly, with their permission, post that they've closed, congratulate them, but stay in touch. 3 days after my clients close, I call them and just say, how's it going? I know you're getting moved in, don't want to bother you, just seeing how you're doing. 7 days later, if I do not have, it's on my calendar to do this, if they didn't get a home warranty with their closing, I call them and remind them to get a home warranty. And any of you who do not have on your laptop the ability to go online and order a home warranty for your clients, please fix that today. I use First American. I can send anybody that wants it the contact for Joyce Reinhardt. So when you watch this video or you text me later on today, I will gladly share Joyce Reinhardt. That's my choice. You can go out and research home warranties you want. You can get a hold of whomever is the local regional person for that particular home warranty company. The ones that are in here are 210. They both look like 210. I don't know who offers them. But get a hold of the rep locally and get that platform on your computer. And I order home warranties on my computer while my clients watch me, usually via Zoom. So they can pick and choose what they want covered and the amount they wish to spend. And it's an annual coverage. So that's 7 days later. I want to make sure they have coverage. And there's a reason for that here in a second. I'll tell you why we want to do that. And then 30 days out, I'll text them, email them, direct message them in Facebook, call them, and encourage them to refer their family and friends to me. And then I do it again at 60 days and do it again at 90 days. Whatever works for you is fine, but it's follow up. How's it going? Do you have a home warranty? And then ask, and ask. Now, what's uncomfortable about asking a person who you just helped make the biggest decision of their lives, perhaps for the 4th or 5th time, but it never goes away? It went well. What's uncomfortable about coming out and asking them for referrals? Say it. What's uncomfortable about it?
You don't like to ask or,
Getting rejected.
Getting rejected.
yeah,
Okay, so I've helped you buy a home. It went well, and I've asked you for referrals. And because it went well for you, you think that you're going to reject me. I'm just asking you you think that might happen. Okay, so let's look that evil dragon in the eye and think about the worst thing that could happen if you ask somebody who you've helped for referrals and they say, I'm not comfortable doing that. That's the worst thing that can happen. I'm not comfortable doing that. Okay, you have a good day. I'm still going to stay connected on Facebook. I'm still going to influence and nurture them through my database. And I'll give you another, not story, but truth. Guys, I really think that we project way too much into conversations that we might have with somebody someday. And that's just from experience. I can say honestly, I've never had a close client say no. They're just not going to do it to you. But if they do, because it is a possibility, Malika said it, she's right. It's okay, great. I completely understand. How I ask for referrals. You can ask however you want. Hey, Malika, I know things went well for you and Tony. I appreciate it. Thank you for entrusting me with what was a really big decision. I think it went well. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you can make it hard on me if you want. If you hear of anybody who's looking for a caring, competent real estate professional, it would feel great if you could give them my contact information, or better yet, give me theirs. I promise you, I will not embarrass you. Tell people the truth, because that's the rejection part, right? They gave the referral and then you screw that all up. So they're embarrassed because they referred you. Tell them, I promise I won't embarrass you, Kelsey. I won't. Okay. Yes.
So I have a lot of anxiety, just throwing that out there, so like, that's unnecessary worry, like part of my everyday life,
Yeah.
and,
Thanks for admitting it.
Yeah.
You want some coffee?
2 transactions, they have both been manufactured mobile homes,
Yes.
and they just happen to both waive the inspection.
Yes.
And, I have to haven't called them back yet, because I wanted to ask them to put something on my Google Business, like a review.
Yes, yes.
And I haven't done it yet, because I was worried. I was like, what if something's wrong with the house? And
Yes.
they're gonna be mad.
Yes,
And I'm not gonna know what to do.
yeah.
That's why I didn't call yet.
Here's what I would do. I would call to not ask them for referrals. Remember, it's 3, how's it going?
Yeah.
7, I'd call them and say, hey, you know, we didn't have inspections, because you're just telling the truth.
Yeah.
And it also makes you feel better to get that off your chest, because you're worried about it. We didn't have inspections. So my concern for you is that, you know, an appliance is going to break down sometime in the next year or so, because I'm worried about it like you are, Kelsey. Would you like to talk about getting a home warranty to protect you against that happening, so that could be covered? And then you could tell them how that works is for $85, the home warranty company will come out, and if they can fix it, they'll repair it for $85. If they can't, they'll replace it with something that's like kind what's there for $85. So you're delivering really good news. You're telling the truth. You're getting the stress. I got you. You're getting the stress off of you for, you're not calling for a referral, but you're calling to offer them something that is important. So if you check in, kind of get over that. How's it going?
Yeah.
Guys, what we are fearful of, 2 things. One is probably not going to happen because we're projecting it. You admit it. And 2, why wouldn't you want to know that? I would want to know it. I would, if I'm your agent, I want to know if you're having trouble after you move in. I'd like, because I want to fix it. And I,
And I told you this, I'll get back to you.
and here's why you should do that. That will grow their trust in you when you call and say, I'm fearful for you because we didn't have inspections. I'm thinking this, I'm worried for you. You're my client. And I'd want you to know that we can get you a home warranty in case anything does go wrong. Hope everything's going great. How's it going? Get the news.
Yeah.
The news, some very high percentage of the time, is going to be great. Everything's fine. Thanks for checking in. And the reason to do that is because 69% of people who refer someone to you is they're referring to somebody that they trust. And you want to grow that trust with your client. They trusted you to get the deal done. It went well. You're further growing trust by staying connected. You want to continue to be anxious and diminish the trust, just ignore them. That'll do it in a heartbeat. That'll do it.
The home warranty.
I don't know that you can, but I think you can, because I think it's one of the categories on there. Ask Joyce, she can tell you.
So Marco, around that one.
Yes.
To me, that sounded so uncomfortable because it sounds like you're trying to sell them something yourself.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
have to reinforce that you're not gonna benefit from it
Yeah.
at all. You're truly doing it just for them.
So you're so cute because you just said something that was negative and it was a problem, and you resolved it in the same sentence, which is, you could say something like, hey, I'm concerned for you. I don't want anything to go wrong, and I don't get paid a penny for this. I just want you to have it because my clients save thousands of dollars a year when they get appliance repairs paid for by a home warranty. Yeah, just tell them. Say, hey, I don't get paid anything for this. You want to make a joke out of it? I don't care if you have a home warranty or not, but you do. So you wouldn't want to say that.
I think a lot of people at the clients after we close, I don't think they expect their realtor to call them.
Oh,
That'd be nice.
what a great point.
You know.
So
they don't
in the
expect it,
room-
So when you do, it's like, wow.
Yeah, in the room, Elaine is bringing up a point that people who you close with aren't expecting you to follow up with them.
They think you're.
That's our fault for not making it clear that we're going to and that we should. Are there anything else on the line before we continue this conversation? Any other input, feedback, questions? 3, 7, 30, 60, 90. Day 3, check in. Day 7, home warranty. Day 30, 60, and 90. Elaine, if you hear of anybody who needs a caring, competent real estate professional, would you feel good about referring them to me? And then wait for an answer if you want to. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. Well, if you hear of anybody, I'd sure love to get their contact information, or better yet, give me theirs. I'm going to stay in touch with you. You're going to continue to get my newsletter. We're friends on Facebook. You're going to hear from me on occasion. It's just fun stuff because I want to stay in touch with you. I'd sure appreciate it if you keep me in mind, and I promise I won't embarrass you. Guys, we have to ask. And you just made the best point, which is, if we think, and you're right, there's a stat here that I wrote down. 90% of buyers and sellers out there end up using an agent. 75% only talk to one agent when they're thinking about buying or selling a house. 75% of the people out there that you're talking to are only talking to you. Just you. There shouldn't be any fear in your mind that you're being compared to somebody else, because 75% of the time, they're not talking to anybody else. That's a fact. Most choose who they already know. If we do not practice back-end marketing, they will not be reminded that they know you and you're a real estate agent. Most choose who they already know. When the people choose a real estate agent, 90% use one, 75% talk to one agent, and they choose somebody they already know. If you've got 100 people on a database and you're talking to all of them all the time, 75% of the time, they're going to choose you because you're who they know. And they're only going to talk to you 75% of the time. So they're just talking to you. And if you don't want to call them at day 3 or call them on day 7, remind them of the home warranty, or call them on day 30, 60, or 90, they won't trust you. You're right. They will think of you as the typical real estate agent or realtor. Just hit it and forget it. I'm gonna move on to the next transaction. Don't care about you, Kelsey. Don't care whether you have a home warranty. Don't care how it's going. I'm not asking you for referrals because I have no faith in myself to help anybody else.
So do you have a backup for the 7-day if the sellers have provided a home warranty for them and they already
Nope.
have one?
Nope.
So go ahead and call them and ask them. about
Yeah,
it?
I'd say, hey, how's it going? I might call them again in 2 weeks if they've already got one. Say, how's it going? I know I checked in a couple weeks ago. How you doing? Don't forget about your home warranty. And then it's an opportunity for you to tell them how that works. If you have a home warranty, don't fix something yourself and expect the home warranty to reimburse you. Don't touch it. Call the home warranty company. They will determine whether or not it's a covered expense, send somebody out, whether they can repair it or they have to replace it. So you don't, in a home warranty situation, you don't fix anything yourself. You let them do it. Just like homeowners insurance. You know, if they write you a check, then you've got to hire the contractor, but you don't go up and fix your roof and then say, I fixed it. Can you give me some of my homeowner's insurance money back? Home warranty works the same way.
Happens after day 90.
Day 90, you've told them about 30, 60, and 90 3 times. I'm going to stay in touch with you. You're going to continue to get my newsletter. We're friends on Facebook. I'm going to reach out to you every once in a while, either by text. You'll probably see some silly videos from me. I like to contact people during the holidays. You're going to let them know I'm going to stay in touch. But you want to ask them at least 3 times after it's still fresh in their mind. They only closed 3 months ago. 3 times. Can you help me grow my business? I mean, that's what you're saying, right? Say it however you want. However you want to say it. But you better say it. If you don't ask, how do you expect any kind of answer? Your clients want to engage with you after they close, right? And your whole business model is about being of assistance about anything home, isn't it? They can call you for a contractor to help them add a room or repair something. Hell, we know one of the best HVAC people in the country. He's sitting right there. All right. We've got all kinds of folks that can fix anything in your house. We've got information on home warranties. We've got information to help people get their taxes revised. I have all my clients. I tell them all at closing, if you get anything in the mail at any time that you don't understand about your house, call me. Just get in a habit of letting your clients know you're always there for them throughout everything. It becomes a habit. It's how you take care of closed clients and assist them. 30% of your effort is after they close. Right? I mean, you're still sending them a newsletter. There's some effort there, isn't there? You're still texting them. There's some effort there. You're calling them 3 days, 7 days, 30, 60, and 90 days later. There's some effort there. You've set up all these systems to stay connected with them after they've closed. Because those folks, when you ask, one more time, 61% of them are going to refer you to one person at least. 34% are going to refer you to 2, and 5% will refer you to 11 or more. In Woody's business, in the classic car business, he's so tight with people that it wouldn't shock me if he gets more than 5%ers than any other, because they know him really well. They trust him a lot intuitively in another business. So the trust that he builds in real estate is going to be faster. So he might get some of those 5%ers. And you can just pick that out in yourself, right? You might get a lot more Northland people. I don't know, if we start reaching out to them. So
That's the national. That's right.
Mhm.
So, I think that's better because, I mean, I would think, because when I look at some of the other agents and I hear some other stories, I'm like, well, we're probably not gonna get 61% referral. So on an average, like, and because you do these things, would you say you're more than 61%?
I'm about 95%. My business is by referral. I rely upon referrals. My database is a newsletter, and it's letters that I send to chunks of them, probably every 15 days till I get through the whole thing. I stay firmly connected with those. I keep it cleaned up. Tons of those people move and don't use me. When Aaron and I get those back, we look at them, then look it up, make sure that they did move, because sometimes it's wrong. And then say, damn, missed that one. Damn, missed that one. The cool thing is when you grow that database and you influence and nurture all the people that that you can possibly think of, they're in your phone, they're already on your Facebook. All of the people should be in a database somewhere, and you're connected with them, you're offering them assistance, and you're nurturing them and influencing them and give them expert advice because they're in your pipeline for a future transaction. When that number gets to be a certain size, statistics just make it roll. I send out, 730 newsletters a month. So while 95% of my business comes by referral, I'm only half as good as I should be, because I only do 40 or 45 transactions a year. And the math is real simple. I should do 104. 7 into 7 something. I should be doing 100 transactions a year, and I don't. Yeah, well, I have family, faith, social life, and work. What do you want me to do? Okay, so I have the same life y'all do. Thank you, everyone, for sharing, teaching, etc. Have to go. Scott Hoffman had to go. Let's see what else is going on. Thank you, Freddie. Thank you, Freddie. Thanks. What's the app? What does the app look like? What does the app look like? Freddie, are you still on?
Yes.
Can you put your phone up to the screen and show everybody what the app looks like on your phone?
Sure.
So we can see Freddie.
I don't want you guys to. Closer. Down a little bit. Yeah, good man. Thank you. Make it dark. So it looks like a green. Oh, that's your thingy. What's the top look like again? Go back down. All right. What's it look like on your phone before you open it?
Well,
Yeah. Well, that's open. So go to your desktop on your phone. Like the app. There you go. What's it look like? Which one is it? There you go. It looks like that, Gina. And right now it is, because it's older, it's called Optcity. It might have changed. The name may have changed, but I bet the app logo looks similar. There you go. Thank you, Freddie.
yes,
You guys are funny.
You really wanted to, you really just want to put in Optcity. That's it.
Okay. Because
Yeah, and
It'll still pull up by that. All right. keep going.
Yes.
All right, back to Justin. Did you have a comment? You were laughing there. Please drive.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You guys are just cracking me up a little bit.
Move your mouse down.
I
there.
will. I promise. We gotta get another sin in because I'm anxious. Okay, here we go. All right, closed clients. As your business grows, closed clients, according to these statistics, will refer you between 1 and 11 other people. Now, I want you to think about that as it relates to just the math. You all say to yourself, I don't have any closed clients. Why am I here? Because your survey said this is what you want to talk about. So I'm sorry if you don't have closed clients yet. But when you do, the cool thing is you'll have this for study and you'll be able to know exactly what to do to assist and get referrals from your closed clients. Remember one more time, 3, 7, 30, 60, 90. Let your clients know how you're going to stay connected, how your business is by referral. Back to the stats, about 95%. I occasionally get a sign call. I'm trying to think of other ways that I've gotten business in the last couple of years. I got a sign call, 2 sign calls, 2 sign calls. I think those have, think a little harder. Who have I closed with? Yeah, it's just 2 sign calls out of the last 2 years, Sheila. Everything else has been word of mouth, by referral. Hey, that person said that you're pretty darn good at this, or you stink at this and I still like you, whatever. Grow trust in your closed clients by staying in touch despite your anxiousness to do so. Kelsey was brutally honest and said, man, this stuff makes me nervous, and I get it. See you, Kevin. This stuff makes me nervous, and I don't like it. So as a business owner, you have 2 choices. Don't do it, and don't get those referrals and hope that they just come to you by osmosis, because that could happen. Or put something mechanical in place that you can study and get really good at and repeatedly do it. Habitually call people 3 days after they close and say, how's it going? If you have, if you're nervous about how the deal came together and you didn't fix it during the transaction, because that's what we are, guys. We're a bunch of fixers, right? Something goes a little left, we fix it. We get a hold of each other and we say, how do I do this? Or how do I do that? Or how do I fix this? Or who do I call with that? So if there's something out there that's niggling at you, talk to us so that we can help you fix it during the transaction or know what to do to address it afterward. But generally speaking, with few exceptions, guys, can you think, for those that have had closings, can you think of a closing that took place where you didn't want to have anything to do with that person, either your client or that house, ever again? I mean, it's so rare. Of course it happens, but it's so rare that we project like that's going to be, every time I'm going to have unhappy clients. For goodness sakes, that's not going to happen to you. You're going to have happy people that want you to stay connected with them, not because, please don't misunderstand the concept here. I don't stay in touch with closed clients just to get referrals from them. I know these guys. I know their kids. I know their dogs. I know their aunts and uncles and brothers. And you know your clients. You get close to your clients. So you stay in touch for a lot of different reasons. And the more you deal with your sphere, the more you'll find that's the case. The people closest to you that entrust you with the sale or purchase of a home, you know them already. And it's very easy to stay connected with those folks. But even if it's somebody you're just meeting for the first time, like Freddie, with all his Optcity people, they do become your clients and you do get to know them. And because he stays in touch with them and does such a great job, his Optcity people, who were strangers a few months ago, are referring people to him. I hope you guys didn't miss that. He said he's gotten 3 or 4 or 5 referrals from Optcity closings. Closed clients are your friend. Yes. Freddie, what kind of follow-up do you do with closed clients? Be brutally honest.
Everything that you're speaking about right now.
Thank you, Jesus.
I call them, within a couple few days after closing. I email them, I stay in touch with them through KV Core. I call them, I speak of home warranty to them, I encourage them to get that. And really, I do end up having relationships with them, and I like to think making friends with them. And yeah, so I do actually go out with them from time to time, or coffee or a meal, or just other needs that they have, taxes or repairs or all those things.
Yeah.
Just stay in touch with them as
Thank you.
friends.
Thank you. Your closed clients depend upon you. And we're talking about closed clients. This involves everybody. Somebody's in your pipeline, somebody's in a transaction, or somebody's closed. We're talking about closed clients. You know, the top 5 things that folks, when surveyed, say about their agents that they hold in utmost esteem: expertise, how the process went, a lot of communication. So not calling them as bad, right? Your negotiating skills. I'm sorry, it was the top 4. And your negotiating skills. It's how they're gauging you.
Can you do it again?
Yep. Expertise. How'd the process go? Did you communicate with them, and how often? And your negotiation skills. Many of you in this room have gone through contracts with me, and we're going to continue to do that. That's actually going to be an entire video on its own. I'm taking that one. I actually have it. We won't have time for it today, and it's not in the top 2. The top 2 were what we're talking about, and buyer and seller conversations. I'm tickled that's in the top 2. And as far as time goes, I want to transition. Yeah, I knew it happened. Damn it. Okay. 1/2 of first-time buyers and sellers make their decision on their agent by referral, Kelsey. 50% of first-time buyer and sellers make their decision on the agent they choose because that agent's been referred to them by somebody. 1/2 of them. All these stats are speaking to you and begging you to stay in touch with closed clients. 3-7 30 60 90. Make sure they're on all of your databases, right? That you're connected with them, that you're offering them assistance. And that should have been a discussion that you were having with them throughout the transaction. But let's say you forget all that because you're just more efforts being put in to get them through it. Then make sure that's your discussion after they close. Guys, I'm here. You're going to hear from me. You're going to get a newsletter. I'm going to text you. I'm going to email you every once in a while. Make sure it doesn't get spammed. I stay in touch with my clients because they become like family to me. That's a truthful statement. So you're going to hear from me. And just tell them at the closing table, 90-some% of my business is by referral, Sheila. Just tell them. You're letting them know that 90-some% of my business is by referral, Sheila. I'll be in touch, right? You're going to hear from me. I tell everybody, you're going to be getting the newsletter. It's not junk. And they laugh, right? Because, everything you get in the mail's junk. So anyway, any questions about taking care of closed clients and how you may be of assistance to them? You can assist them by referring them to contractors. You can assist them by helping them with a home warranty. You can assist them by helping them get their taxes revised. You can assist them by making sure that they don't get anything in the mail that confuses them. You can assist them in this manner. This is going to be the most ethereal thing I've said today. Guys, everybody in this life walks around with a big sign on their chest. You all do, and you'll admit it. So do I. And it says, say something nice to me today. Make me feel better. Your clients are human beings. Just you texting them every once in a while. I mean, the happy birthday greetings that come from KV Core, I've gotten those from Laura Enright because we were testing this 2 years ago. And she put my closing date and my birth date in her KV Core. And I get a birthday greeting and an anniversary greeting every year from Laura Enright. And it's really cool. It does make you feel good. Comes to you out of the blue. You don't remember you set it up, so you don't know it went. Comes from the KV Core cell phone, so they can't respond to it. But I can't count the number of times agents have said, I got a text from my client thanking me for thinking of them on their anniversary. Hell, you forgot about that a long time ago. But that's not the point. The point is they want to hear from you. And let's face it, you make a really good living in real estate, guys. We could cut that math any way you'd want to. And you make a good living. So we need to pay attention to closed clients. They're important. Any confusion about 3, 7, 30, 60, 90? Any confusion about the ways that you can be of assistance to your clients after they close and that you should be of assistance to your clients after they close? Any confusion about how much effort you should be putting into staying in touch with closed clients?
Want to go with what?
PTAC, yeah, sure. Is that?
30, I mean, 67, 30.
Oh. Malika is asking me to close with these thoughts. We've got 15 minutes, and I shall. On the, well, you
I
are.
wasn't saying to close with that, just say, tell
Well,
us what people have.
it's going to take 15 minutes to do it, so we're going to close with it. Malika asked a really fun question in the room. And on our coaching platform that you all have a copy of, you see a category called PTAC. P, capital P, capital T, capital A, capital C. And I'm often asked, what does that stand for if I haven't yet gone over it with you? Here's what it stands for, and it definitely has to do with closed clients. The P stands for pipeline, where 60% of your effort should be. The T stands for transactions, where 10 to 15% of your effort shall be. And the AC stands for after closing. And the concept of PTAC is that your business is moving towards the day when you will have it organized into silos, databases, call them what you want, areas of focus in your business. In my business, my silos or databases or areas of focus are my database, Facebook, and the Columbus MLS Flex system. Now, my database also includes a couple of geo farms, so I cheat, but those 3 places are where my entire business exists. Think about it. The database is where all of your pipeline people should be, because you're influencing and nurturing them to do a transaction with you at some point in the future. And we'll go over the statistics of that in a second. And it is where all my closed clients are. Facebook is where I'm influencing and nurturing people as a database to do business with me. So that is directly tied to pipeline and transactions eventually. And a lot of my closed clients are there. And the Flex MLS system is where I'm searching for homes for buyers. So at any given time, as your business grows, you'll be searching for homes for 2 or 3 buyers or 10 or 12 or however many. My wife and I sit down about every 15 days. And I also put all of my clients that I'm working with currently in folders. So we go through all those, make sure I'm updated on those. But after we do that, I go into my database. I ensure that I'm at the point in the month where my newsletter is going to go out. It reminds me by being in there, hey, let's make sure this month's newsletter goes out. And it does. And then I just pick 10, and I start at the top and work my way down it. I pick 10 and I write a handwritten letter to all of them. And the letter goes something like this. Hey, you don't want to get the newsletter anymore. How you doing? Happy New Year. If you don't want to get the newsletter anymore, just let me know. Here's my email and here's my cell phone number. Hope you're enjoying it. If you need anything, holler. I'm your anything home guy kind of thing. Have a great New Year, Mark and Aaron. And I send those letters out. So that's just an additional touch to my database. In Facebook, I'll go on my Facebook, I'll click on my friends, and just like what happens to all of you, all the people you may know show up, right? And I go through and either confirm or delete those, make sure I either know them or I don't, because I've taught Facebook to only send me people I may know that are people I may know. So they might be a friend of a friend or an uncle of a friend or something like that. And I confirm or delete those. And then if I have any friend requests, I confirm or delete those. And then I start on my friends list and start at the top. And I send direct messages to 10 or 15 people. And I rotate those messages. One of them is going to be, hey, I know you know this. I market real estate services. It was great helping your son, Tyler, or whatever. I'm thinking of Coach McKenzie. You know of anybody who needs a caring, competent real estate professional, you know where to find me. Please give them my contact information. And that'll be the first one that I'll just go through all 649 of my friends. You can take out a few of those because they're you guys and some other people. And then I'll start all over again when I get through all of them. And the second one will be, hey, you know, anybody wants a home warranty? Does this all sound familiar? You know, it'll save you thousands. Hey, the next one will be, if you know anybody that needs a contractor, I've got lots of great referrals to people I trust. I've got roofers, plumbers, electricians, landscapers, HVAC people. If you need any home maintenance, you want to get some repairs done before winter, I highly suggest you get a hold of Wise Heating and Cooling so they can do their 2 times a year checkup. Let me know. I'll get you Wise's information. And just direct message everybody. Of course, in Facebook, throughout the week, I'm posting list reports. I'm posting pictures of my horses and cats and dogs and grandkids and pictures of the moon on new fallen snow and all kinds of stuff. And I'm tagging that with Dr. Real Estate. So I'm mixing a lot of personal posts with list reports. On occasion, I'll go on to KB Core and share another Red One listing. You'll see on my Facebook that I market all of my listings through list reports and send out marketing kits. So I'm always posting on Facebook and Instagram, and I'm always going through my friends list and direct messaging them. And I'm always scrubbing my Facebook to make sure that the Facebook algorithm understands that Facebook for me is a database. I don't care how crass that sounds. You know, we're all on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook and Snapchat and everything else because we want the whole world to know everything that's going on in our lives. And we take pictures of food and all this silly stuff. I think that's wonderful. That is not one of the things that has, as I get older, that I'm curmudgeonly about. I think it's great. I share pictures of my horses. It's stupid, but I liked it. But Facebook for me is a database. It is where referrals come from. And then the third place I go is the Flex MLS system. I'm sending listings to these folks, and I know that, and they're communicating with me, and we're going on tour on occasion. But there are times when I haven't toured with somebody for a long time. I've got folks in my Flex MLS system. I've been looking for houses for them for 2 years. So it's like Freddie, right? I'm going to stay with you as long as you keep responding. And I send out emails to all of those people and just say, how's it going? Should we change the criteria on your search? I know interest rates have been high and maybe you're waiting. And you'd be amazed at how many of those people on direct messages that say, yep, keep you in mind. On the Flex people that I email say, yep, we're still in it. Stay in touch. Love it. Haven't seen anything that I like. Just those little touches. That's PTAC. It's taking an hour to an hour and a half every 15 days and going through your entire business from pipeline to transactions to after close. And because it's in 3 or 4 silos and you know how to connect on all those, that's what you do. That takes up a lot of my time. Staying connected. Letting closed clients know that I care about them. and that I expect something from them. It's called reciprocity, guys. You've all heard me say this, and you've experienced it. You're walking up to a brick and mortar store. Their foyer or entry has 2 sets of double doors, one exterior and one interior, and you watch somebody, 2 different couples or people arrive at the same time. You'll watch somebody open the door for the one couple. The person who had the door open for them will kill themselves getting to the second set of doors so they can open it for the person who opened the door for them. And everybody has their interaction and everybody moves on with their day. That is a human instinct. It's called reciprocity. That has a lot to do with your close clients. And if I were being really brutal, and I will, if you don't know you work your rear end off to get somebody through a transaction, and you don't place a value on that, and you don't then demand that that happy client practice reciprocity with you, shame on you. I don't care how salesy or crass or brutal that sounds. Shame on you for not having the confidence in your ability as an agent to not expect that person to say, yeah, man, I like you and you're my guy or girl, and I absolutely want to refer my family and friends and people to you. That is a minimal expectation. And if you don't think every other brick and mortar store and online store doesn't practice back-end marketing and expect that same thing, you're dead wrong. We are in business. Yes. Do we care more about our clients than Walmart cares about their customers? Yes. And that wasn't a shot at Walmart. We do care more. We do. We are frightened that things don't go well. We are anxious to get it in contract and make sure it goes well. I get it. That's what you signed up for when you got your license. You know, this reality TV thing kicking in, right? It is not like reality TV where somebody just comes to you and says, here's somebody this $1 million house and make your 30,000 and move on. We work hard, guys. We develop relationships. We care about the people we're helping. That is the feedback I get from AMP agents all the time. I really want this to go well. I'm concerned that I don't know something. Lindsay brought it up. Lori Spoon was a nervous wreck on her first listing and got through it really well, stumbled through it really well. We stumbled through it together really well because she had just gotten her license. That's your business. Eventually, your business becomes what we've talked about today. Pipeline, transactions, after closing, and repeat. And it's just a beautiful oval. And once it's rolling, guys, you can't stop it. You've heard me say it before. Your life, depending upon what you've got going on outside of real estate, and life hands you a lot of packages. I was going to say the other word, but I won't. Lots of packages that you have to open up and look inside and say, man, I don't know if I can fix this right now, and it's going to take a while. And I get it. So your life outside of real estate is going to put you in one of 3 categories as an agent. And you're going to hear this and hear this and hear this, because I hope it takes some of the pressure off of you that it's something that you're not doing that is creating your real estate business. It isn't. It's just life. You're going to eventually be able to handle about 8 transactions a year. Or you're eventually going to be able to handle about 14. Or you're eventually going to be able to handle 20 plus. Those are the 3 categories. Accept that. It's okay. You can make a hell of a living on 8 you can make a hell of a living on 4 transactions a year. You can make a really good living on 14. And believe me, when you do 20 plus, it's fun. Take care of your close clients. They will help you. They will refer between 1 and 11 people to you. Can you imagine a real estate business that you will have in the coming weeks, months, or years? You will have it where your text and your email and your direct message or your phone just goes off, and it's that text out of the blue or that email out of the blue where it says, so-and-so said that you're the one I should get a hold of when it comes to selling my house or buying a house. That's your life coming. And closed clients are a big part of it. Please pay attention to them. 3, 7, 30, 60, 90. Assist them. Care about them. Stay connected with them. Grow, communicate and grow that trust. Making sure that there isn't anything else on here that I missed. Any questions? Anything about closed clients or assisting them or how you get referrals from them? Anything that's unclear? Did we talk enough about asking for referrals that you feel better about asking for referrals, or do we need to talk for a few more minutes about it?
Like one of the things you told me that really hit home with me is if I don't ask, they will use someone else.
Absolutely.
And that, when you said that to me, like, okay, I gotta get over myself.
Yeah. So Sheila brought up a good point. If you don't ask, they will use somebody else. So let's talk about it statistically and then we'll close. There is a factual stat out there that if you are sending a connection device marketing to a group of people, let's call it 100, and you've been doing it every month, month after month, for months, and you're getting your business out of it, everything's good, and you skip a month, something comes up and you just can't get it, you stop connecting for that month. The stat is that 10% of those people will forget about you. And what it actually means, if you want to drill down on what that stat, because they drilled down on it, what it actually means is during that month, which is actually, it becomes a 60-day period of time, right? If you're sending out a newsletter every month, it goes out on the 25th, you skip the 25th of the month following, and now it's the 25th of 2 months from now. That's 60 days that you have not connected with them. In that 2 months, that person, it's just the way the universe works, is going to meet another agent who is good and influences them, and that becomes their agent. Like it or not, that's life. And it happens whether you do it every month or not. I told you earlier, I get 3 or 4 or 5 envelopes every month to get returned to me. If you've got enough people and a big enough army out there, it's not as painful. You do have to ask, guys. You're in business. Treat it like a business. Sheila said it, so I'm not saying something mean here. She had to just get over herself. Just start asking. Start asking. Think of the worst thing that could happen when you're envisioning these conversations that take place. Think of the worst thing that can happen and face that. And then when anything happens that isn't that, how much better you feel when you say, well, that's the worst thing that can happen. That didn't happen, so everything else must be okay. Face the dragon every day. Slay it every day. When you get into habits, that dragon becomes smaller and smaller and smaller until it eventually just disappears from your life. And remember that you're projecting into any conversation you have things that are probably not going to take place. That's your head. You don't know what that person is thinking until you ask. I mean, Freddie, to circle back to that, opens up with, hey, is this a good time to talk? Because he's curious and respectful of somebody else's time. My opening line in an open house is, well, Sheila, well, I won't know your name. Well, you must be here to buy a house, or you must be buying a house, but how can I be of assistance? So you tell them that your expectation is that they're a house buyer, but you let them off the hook by saying, yeah, but how can I help you? Just offer your help, guys. You've got all the help in the world. The people you're talking to have no idea what they're talking about when it comes to real estate. They have no idea. I don't care if they've sold 4 or 5 houses. They do not know what they're doing. You do. Know that. I really appreciate your time. Let's get our emails squared away. Let's continue to communicate and understand that this video is going to be edited. Justin will help me. We'll put the front end and the back end on it, and it's going to be downloaded. It's going to be sent to all of you, fully edited. It's gonna be downloaded to the AMP platform, Facebook. It's gonna be downloaded to the AMP channel, YouTube. You guys need to find that and subscribe to it. You're gonna have this. Create a library of these videos on your laptop and save them all and go back and just watch them. This has been as complete as I can be on closed clients, how to assist them, and how to get referrals from them. I've asked several times during the conversation, what are we missing? What are we confused about? You should be able to watch this video and remind yourself of what you should be doing with your closed clients any time of the day or night. And if you want to have private conversations about this, by all means, text me and we'll get together. Thanks, guys. I appreciate you. See you.